this idea that here's the bigger picture here, right? I mean, because I always try to step back and look at this thing from 30,000 feet. You know, what is the biggest picture here? You know, what's really going on? And the big picture is the question: why do we have trade? Right? It's much like the question: why do we have an economy? Right? Is the economy here to serve the people who own most of it, the 1%? Or is it here to serve the nation and its citizens? And the 1% just get to kind of skim their piece off the top. And you know my opinion is the latter. So why do we have trade? Well, we have trade so that we can have things that we otherwise couldn't have. Alexander Hamilton makes this very clear in his report to manufacturers. It's the first chapter of my book and the introduction, actually, to my book, Rebooting the American Dream, which you can read free online over at truthout.org. And you know, the argument that he made was very, very straightforward. You know, if there's something that we do not make in the United States, and we have no intention of making in the United States, you know, carved sandalwood, you know, fragrance pens, or, you know, fine French wines. Now, there's an area where actually at the time, you know, in Hamilton's time, you know, nobody was seriously, well, they were actually starting to do vineyards and things. But anyhow, if there's things that are made in other countries that you want to have in America, then you lower the tariffs on those things. Hey, we don't have any intention of competing on carved sandalwood. So, you know, we don't even grow sandalwood in the United States. So if Thailand wants to export, you know, carved sandalwood to the United States, cool. We don't need a high tariff on that. But if Thailand wants to export steel made in Thailand with, you know, 20 cent an hour labor to the United States, or cement, or toasters, or washers and dryers, or computers, or whatever, we can make those things here. And if we make them here, the profit from making them stays here. This is the wealth of nations, as Adam Smith labeled, you know, titled his book in 1776. And it's literally what he was talking about. The wealth of nations is raw materials with human intellect and or labor applied to them. And that, in other words, manufacturing. And that becomes the wealth of nations. So if we keep the manufacturing here, we keep the profits here, we keep the jobs here, because it's a relatively closed economy in those areas where, you know, where you have tariffs. Those jobs are you know, tend to be well-paid jobs, and things work well. We try this you know, neoliberal George Herbert Walker Bushite. Well, it was really Reagan's idea. You know, this free trade thing. And what does it do? It's just gutted the middle class.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-808-9925.
If the cost of a toaster goes from $10 to $20, but instead of lasting a year, it lasts 5 years, and my paycheck goes from $12 to $20, I think it's a good deal.